on how to use Facebook. Hopefully all of you are familiar with the terminology Facebook, how to use Facebook to grow your business. We are specialists in that space. We work with lots of different categories, lots of different individuals, and in most cases, it's that fear of not knowing that we're able to overcome and help people use some basic blocking and tackling in order to create, business wins. So, like I said, excited to do it. I'm here with two of my associates, Alex Altman, who is our senior account manager, and Johnny Bond, or Jonathan Brownfield, as he is also known. His title is Director of Everything Digital, and that will give you some idea of his capabilities. Seeing that you're incapable of seeing us, Johnny is 26 years old and probably the smartest human being on the planet. So we're glad to have him. Glad to have him here. So without further ado, we'll jump into the presentation. And as I alluded to, social media is meant to be, and it's called social media because it's meant to be fun. It is all about being social. There's a lot of new tools out there and a lot of confusion as to what the tools can do and what they're supposed to do. So we've created an exercise. It's kind of fun. All of you know what a donut is, I'm hoping. So we're using donuts as our example, and I'm going to go through, and as you see on your screen, all of the different social media skill sets are listed on the left, and sort of what that would mean to the donut experience on the right. So if I'm using Twitter, I'm going to tell you that I'm eating a donut. That's real time. If I'm using Facebook, which today's presentation is all about Facebook, I like donuts. I'm letting you know what I like. In Foursquare, this is where I eat donuts, so it is a location-based system that kind of alerts people to where you are and what you're doing. Instagram, which is probably one of the newest and most fun and active, here's a vintage photo of my donut. And so obviously that is a photo-based social media tool where people are posting pictures, and in coming weeks we will be delving into each of these social media skills, and hopefully you'll be able to join us. YouTube, well, here I am eating a donut. You'll be able to watch me do it live on some kind of video presentation. So YouTube is all about taking what you're doing and putting it into what would be your own TV channel, and that's also really fun and really interactive. LinkedIn, my skills include donut eating. And while I may not actually put that on my LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn is all about, showing who you are, and it's your online resume and your opportunity to connect with other business people who are looking for opportunity. And next month we will be doing LinkedIn, and as a business owner or anybody involved in a business, really one of the most powerful online networking tools. Pinterest, which again is something new. Let's take the word pin and put it together with what I'm interested in, and I can actually pin those things and other people can see them. So here's a donut recipe, and Pinterest is fast growing across the community as well. The last two probably not as significant, but certainly something to know about. Last.fm is sort of a music-based social media tool, so now I'm listening to donuts, and if you're capable of doing that, I want to talk to you after this webinar. And then G+, which is Google+. I'm a Google employee who eats donuts. So this is something that, while you may not get it all now, hopefully it gives you some sense of what the social media landscape looks like, what the tools are, and what you can be focused on. So there's a quote on your screen right now. People would rather do business with a person they like and trust rather than someone they don't, even if the likable person is offering a lower quality product or a service at higher price. This was a Nobel Prize winning author, psychologist, who quoted this. And really what I want to focus on for today's conversation is like and trust. These are the two very important mainstays of doing business in the offline world. We're going to use the online skill sets to try and develop this as we move forward. So what social media really is, it's the new word of mouth. So years ago, and Capital being 88 years old, they're very fond of this. There's very few places that I go across the country that someone doesn't know who Capital Lighting is, and that word of mouth is one-to-one. That's me telling you. And so if you think about the last time you wanted to find a doctor, find a dentist, whatever services you were trying to find, you would generally do that in a word of mouth. You ask somebody that you trust, somebody that you like, and say, hey, who do you use? Who's your butcher? Who's your all of these services? Where do you get tires? Think about the last time you purchased something. Did you go to the Yellow Pages and do it, or did you ask your neighbor or ask your coworker? Well, this new social media is the word of mouth of today. So I think you understand this, but it's important because especially when we get into this online environment, people do not want to be sold. They want to interact and be heard. So one of the best things about social media and Facebook in general is that it's communicative. It's two-way conversation. It's allowing me to say something to the world and somebody else, and maybe not that direct person, responding back with their feelings. So certainly you as business owners in the design community, you're creative. You have certain things that make you unique. This environment's going to give you the chance to promote that and promote it in a way that doesn't look like you're selling. You're interacting. You're sharing. And the opportunity to be heard is so important. That's why so many people have gravitated toward this form of communication. So statistically, in the next couple of slides, we're going to talk statistically about how powerful this tool is. 57% of the people talk to more people online than they do in person. I run an organization. I have 16 people and a fairly large client base. I spend most of my time communicating online because it's easier, and I can do it at what time is good for me. Whereas in years past, the phone was the most important communication tool. It's very intrusive to stop what you're doing and pick up the phone when now I can leave somebody a detailed message online or vice versa. So especially on Facebook, this is going to be a chance for you to post and create messaging that people will see and be able to digest when it's good for them, and that's why it's so powerful. So currently, just to give you a scope of the type of audience we're talking to, 800 million active users on Facebook, growing at a significant rate. And it's not, the preconceived notion was that Facebook is for kids or Facebook is for young people. Just so that we're clear, the fastest growing segment of Facebook is women 50 to 70 years old. So it is a very active marketplace growing across many different demographics, and you'll see more of that as we keep going. So one of the coolest things about Facebook and some of these other social media tools is that it's become very visual. There's an opportunity for people to post their photos, and so it's absolutely changed the photo industry because there are over 750 million photos that were uploaded to Facebook over the New Year's Eve weekend. Now that statistic is even greater on a weekly, monthly basis. And for those of you in design, it's so important because it is a visual thing that you're creating. And seeing the body of work that each of you have done and the time that I've been involved in Capital, it's absolutely special. And it's a skill set that you own that now you can share with others. And certainly that's going to bring more attention to who you are and what you do. So this slide is pretty important because people say, well, I don't have the time, I'm running, I'm already too busy, I have so much on my plate, I'm never going to be able to get to all this. If you can make the commitment to do 20 minutes a day on any social media platform, you're going to be able to see significant results. So very similar to any other program that you get into that will benefit your life. And I like to use the analogy of, when you want to work out or you want to go on a diet, it's a slow build. You don't have to become an Olympic user overnight. This is a slow build, and we're going to try and give you some basic tools, blocking and tackling on a daily basis, that if you do the same thing every day, it's the cumulative result of your efforts, not spending 2 hours a day, in one day and then not doing it again for a long time. So you'll see that, and that should give you some comfort in terms of this is a business tool not something that's supposed to make your life harder, but certainly supposed to make your life easier. So what we want to focus on here is what the customer wants, what your end user wants. And we've sort of defined it in the 4 R's. And it's important to live by this because your online profile needs to live in these 4 R's. You need to be real. One of the things about online is you can't fake being something that you're not because you need to be genuine. And these are tried and tested and significant rules of the game that we're giving you. So you need to be real. People want you to be genuine. And at the end of the day, it's you that they're buying, so this is a great platform. You need to be relevant. That means now. What's happening now in your life? What's happening? Who are you dealing with? What are you doing? What's your opinion? All of the things that are relevant. And you need to be responsive, and that's where the 20 minutes a day comes in. If you jump online and you're there for 2 hours one day, and then you go away for 2 weeks, that's not being responsive. So people pay attention to your online profile. It's important for you to be visible and be responsible. And then the 4th R, which is absolutely the most significant part of all social media, is it allows you to maintain relationships with many people. I can give you specific stories that have affected my life, not only in business, but certainly, in other parts of my life, but, significant parts of where I've been able to connect with people that there would be no other physical way that we would ever know where we are, whether it's I grew up in Long Island and people connecting from there, or people I've worked with in the past. And, there's a comment that people make, well, I don't really want to, I left those people 25 years ago, I don't really want to hook up with them. Well, you control who you connect with and who you respond to, and that's really, again, so many significant benefits to using Facebook and using social media, because you are the driver. You will decide who you want to be friends with, who you don't want, and certainly in a viral nature of the business that you're in, I would assume that you'd want more people to see the body of work that you're doing. So certainly these 4 R's are important. And as Eric said, this will be available afterwards, and I welcome questions on any of the things that we're speaking about.
There is a question from Karen S., and you may hit it, but it's a question that I often get asked. Do you recommend having 2 Facebooks, one for your personal life and then another for your professional life? Not a business Facebook, but...
Karen, that is a wonderful, wonderful question, and one that we get asked all the time. We have a professional opinion, but again, I'm going to say up front, it's our opinion. If you take things and divide them in half, you only get half the results. So we believe, knowing that you control the content that you're going to put out there, there's absolutely no problem with having one page that you direct all of your content to. So we're living in a medium that is content-driven. There's a sense of responsibility, and candidly, we could probably add the word, another R, with responsibility, where if you're in an inappropriate situation, you don't post that picture, and that's on the user. But we clearly, in every single business that we're involved in, and again, as I said, we consult across many different categories, we suggest that you put all your content in one place. Wouldn't it be a shame if that person missed you because your content was in the wrong place? So, guarded and responsible, but we do recommend one place. Excellent, excellent question. Thank you for that.
And there are just as you've taught us, Steve, there are several settings that you can use in Facebook, so not everybody sees everything that you post. But in general, I agree with everything Steve said. Having one Facebook to manage is much simpler. You don't miss things. You're not posting in 2 different places. And you do want to be known as a person, not just your business. That's the connection there. So showing pictures of your kids or showing pictures of your vacation is just as important to make that relationship with somebody you're doing business with as showing something you did work with, because they want to feel like they know you, that there's some substance behind the person, and it just is it rounds out the whole circle of the relationship.
So, Eric brings up and continues, and I'm proud of you, Eric, because we've been working on this a long time. It is clearly about relationships, and at the end of the day, Karen, you and your business, if you and I got in a room together and I didn't have a relationship with you, the chances of us doing business together go way down. So this is all about developing relationships with people that you don't have the opportunity to be with face-to-face originally. You can kind of show who you are and what makes you special and what uniqueness you bring to the table, which should ultimately lead to more face-to-face meetings. And part of this mentality is it's with face-to-face meetings that you could never target or never get to with any other advertising medium. So, the other side of Facebook marketing, if you will, is that it's so efficient because the costs are so insignificant compared to the power of the numbers. And so in a metric-driven world, Facebook just delivers so much content to so many people in a way that's so relevant. It's really hard to hard to match that anywhere else. So we'll catch up again here. It's although social media is one to many, I can post one post and it goes out to many. Ultimately, it's being digested, and the real results occur when it's one-to-one, and that's where that responsiveness needs to be. You need to be paying attention, and just as you just asked a question and we're responding to you, if somebody were to ask a question or post a comment, you need to be responsive to them, because that's your opportunity to build that trust and to build that likability in a way that you'd never know. We worked with a big client that was actually in the hearing aid business, and they were like, well, we have a clientele that complains a lot, and I'm afraid that, we said, the reality is, wouldn't you rather know and have the opportunity to show how you deal with the client and show that to everybody else? And when we finally put them and created their digital footprint, it was so powerful to show the masses how they dealt with a problem that we actually showed massive increase in customer service. So it is being heard and given a platform to do that. So again, excellent question, and be happy to answer more. So this, Facebook, was built for lots of different reasons, but those who are using it for business are definitely using it to grow their business. So hopefully you've digested what I've said, and it's built a powerful case for why. And then you say, okay, Steve, and on the ball, I'm in, I get it. What do I do now? So it's the how. How can it do that? And it can do that in a number of different ways. We've listed them out here, and then we'll sort of talk to them individually. But it absolutely helps build brand in a way that, as I spoke, no other medium is capable of doing. It can build web traffic, and we have statistical background to show that it can do that. Certainly from reputation management on both sides of the fence, it works to promote whatever you want your reputation to be, and whatever part of the population you're serving, it will help you to manage that. New customer acquisition, if you're in business, that should be your #1 priority, and it certainly helps you do that. From an advertising perspective, advertising on Facebook is an efficient way to speak to a specific geographic and a specific demographic area. So again, we can touch on that. Client retention, again, a lot of companies and a lot of businesses spend more time trying to find a new customer rather than retaining a customer. And in this case, while you may not have a repeat business directly from retaining that customer, you're going to get your next piece of business from that client, and so it's really important. And then, again, the real power that none of us can really quantify is the viral nature of social media marketing and Facebook. So, any one of these pillars would allow you to really, really grow your business, and we'll speak to them all individually. So, having said that, we talked about brand, and when you say brand awareness, it's who are you? So, this allows you to say, hi, I'm Karen, and I am a specialist in this, and you're putting your brand, and I'll put it into terms of DNA. Each of you have your own DNA, and this allows you to promote it very simply. You don't have to be a real wordsmith to just say, this is what I'm all about. And if you and I were standing somewhere in a bar, a restaurant, in an elevator, you would be able to tell me, hopefully in a few sentences, what your brand is all about. This allows you to promote it to the masses, and then they, with a click of a button, can promote it to the people that they know. So brand awareness and relationship building, key to doing that. So it's great for engagement with your customers and communicating promotions, contests, and events. And so certainly from the promotional side, if you've been on Facebook, you see what other people are doing. And I'm going to have Johnny in a few minutes talk about a live demonstration here on physically how to do this. But if any of you considered running a contest, running a promotion, hey, show me your ugliest bathroom and I'll redo it for free, you can get so many people who will sign up and engage with you for that. Then you can certainly turn around afterwards and re-engage and say, hey, listen, you didn't win the contest, but, you know, I'm here to help you if you decide to do it. So, you know, that engagement in contests and events is so powerful. Things that you do on your own when you go to business events. I know that I've been to the lighting show in Dallas, and it's incredible how much that content people want to see and want to know. So it certainly gives you the opportunity to, you know, to post that. And it could be something that is personal, something that you like to do. And I've trained the people at Capital Lighting. People buy from people that they like. So if some of you are into great restaurants, well, certainly you can post about great restaurants and people start following you because they want your opinion on what a great restaurant is. So, you know, certainly Facebook is an opportunity to share all of the things that are based on lifestyle, and that's what's so much fun. So, so it can act as the point of as a point of driving traffic to your online portfolio. So I'm sure all of you have great pictures and great things that are, you know, great representations of what you've done. Well, in a click of a button, you can share that with me, and Facebook becomes that place that, you know, allows you to update that content on a very, very frequent basis, so it stays, as we talked about before, extremely relevant. So, you know, what we talked about before was, you know, you want to listen and be able to respond. So, you know, the fact that you can post something and say, these are the hot trends and these are the things I'm recommending, you're going to get people that will hear you, they'll respond, and by responding back to them, you're having a conversation. So what used to happen at the Chamber of Commerce meeting is now happening many, many times over through your Facebook representation. And it's constant. It's all day. It's all night, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You're out there. You do not know who's viewing what what you're posting and what you're doing. And it's fascinating. It's actually fun. And again, I go back to why they call it social media, is that it's social. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be engaging and not something that's laborious. So you certainly, if I asked you, would you want an opportunity to find customers who may not otherwise have discovered you, anybody in business that says no to this should actually give me their keys because this is clearly the reason why we're there. You're there to serve customers, and, you know, without belaboring it, this is, you know, the exact reasons why we want to do this stuff. So we talked about this at the top, and Johnny's going to speak to it a little bit more, but specific demographics. So each of you deals with a different part of the population. You deal with a different part of it geographically. So no matter where you're based, if you're based in, let's say, Palm Beach, you may not want to market your services to South Miami. You can geo-target who you want to talk to, and you can say, I want to talk to the people in West Palm Beach who have a home that's worth $500,000 and above, and then that's where you can engage. So it's so important, again, and so efficient, and you can do that all through very simple Facebook metrics. And whatever you don't pick up on today, I've asked the people at Capital, and whether it be, you know, Eric or the people on his team, that if there's a question about any of this stuff that does not get answered today, please feel free to reach out to them directly, and they will either answer it or get you together with us. So you know, it's hard to do all this in 15 or 20 minutes. So, you know, gather what you can, gather up your questions, and we're talking about engagement. Engage with the folks at Capital. Okay, so the final piece is we want to talk about loyalty. Loyalty is probably the most significant piece of any business, and I'm sure each of you can speak to dozens of clients who are loyal to you, and they say, hey, they're my number one client, they're my top 10, they're my top 25. Well, if you engage with them on Facebook, when they like what you do, all of the people in their book, all of the people in their world are going to be able to view your stuff. So this builds loyalty with people you don't know, people you do know. So it's, again, points directly back to the relationship driver. So so I'm going to turn it over to Johnny. At this point, you're going to take it over and do some how-tos. So I'm going to turn it over to Johnny. He's going to talk to you about how to build your audience, how to do these posts, how to comment, how to participate in discussions. We're going to use the social media bootcamp page that that Capital has set up on Facebook. But this is the real interactive part of the conversation. And just a piece of advice as I turn it over, the part of understanding up front that it's a new medium and it is a little intimidating. I can candidly say to you, 2 years ago, I did not know any of this stuff. I'm 52 years old. I'm a father of two. I thought that this was clearly for my son. I did not see the value for my business, but the same way you're being trained, I was trained, and I can tell you exclusively, I can point to places where this has impacted my business far beyond my wildest dreams, and the combination of social media skill sets between Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, your business will never be the same. So without further ado, I'm turning it over to the maestro, the director of everything digital, Johnny Bond.
Hi, I'm Johnny Bond. Like Steve said, engagement is very, very important for your business. And the reason why it's important is because that, it's not about, just engaging one-on-one and actually talking one-on-one with your customer. When your customer talks back to you, all of their friends see that they're engaging your brand, and it makes your brand frame of mind. In addition to that, when you start engaging on someone else's page, all of their content has your brand on it when you comment on something or like something. So to start with, we're going to show you how to post your own content, and then we'll get into how to really engage others. So the great thing about Facebook is, like we said, you can share that content. So you can share it through a status update. So in your purpose, you might say, I'm getting ready to go out and redo this 4,000 square foot home, and we're going to go put new Schoenbeck lighting in it. Or you're going to talk about a certain style or brand. Let's say actually when you get there, then you want to go ahead and post a photo. So posting a photo is really easy. You click on Photo and Video, and then Upload Photo and Video, and then you can choose a file here. So we're going to choose this really nice scene with a fireplace, and we're going to say, check out this interior design from Schoenbeck. And we will place exclamation points. And the reason why is we want to be excited about this. We're excited that we're designers and that we can go out and we can make people's homes much more beautiful and much more creative. So we want to show that passion online. And right away, you can see posted the image goes right up on your Facebook profile. And people can then go ahead and comment, share, or like. So let's say that we're not just doing one room, we're doing an entire house. And we want to do a photo gallery. And by having the photo gallery, it makes a collection of the home. So you can say, hey, I just did a home for, I just redid Richard Branson's entire cottage in London. So we want to show everything we did within the home. So we'll create a photo gallery, or photo album. And all we do is select the photos we want. So we're going to select a few scenes, We'll select a light fixture as well, and then click Open. And all these, we're going to say that these are Schoenbeck lights that we installed in this person's home. And I would talk to your clients and ask them, can we feature you on our Facebook page? And the reason behind that is, one, home is very personal and private. But if you go ahead and you actually, ask them about it, it shows that you're interested in their home and you're taking great pride in your work and what you did. And a lot of them are going to be very happy that you're featuring them. So once you actually upload the photos, then you can go ahead and create a gallery, title it, and do a demonstration of it, and it shows right up on your page. Same thing in the status bar. You go to Photo and Video, and then you can upload photos. You can also upload videos right from your desktop. Or if you have a YouTube video that you want to share, you put that right in the status bar. So you can write in there, check out this great YouTube video from Schoenbeck. It's all about their new lighting fixture, about how Vanilla Ice featured them on one of his TV shows, and then hit share and post right away, and people will see that content. To engage people and actually use their, be interested in their content, you go to the main news feed. And on that news feed, you can select any of those posts, and then in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see like, you'll see comment, and you'll see share. For liking, as it sounds, you're liking their page. That means that you like that content, you're interested in the content. But to be even more engaging, you can comment on it. And by commenting, it shows that you're interested in it, and it's always good to ask questions in your comments, because that inspires other people to go ahead and comment behind it, and the original commenter to comment behind it. And whenever you comment or like on a page, the person who posted that content will see that notification. And depending on their notification setup, when you comment on it and someone else comments on it, and then someone else and someone else and someone else, and then you comment again, that whole string of users commenting on that photo or that video is going to go ahead and see those notifications. And I mentioned photo or video because that's the most engaging content you put out there. And typically, photos are actually the most engaging piece of the content, period, online.
And so you share videos, you share the videos, you're sharing the images, and making comments on other people's posts and videos. That's the viral nature of the Facebook experience.
Yes, and you have to remember, you want to be sharing content, but some of that content could be, different light fixtures you've installed, or different design ideas and design elements. And it's good to share other people's content because they're going to share your content. And you want to be very organic, and it's okay to include personal information, about, certain things you really like.
And is there a rule of thumb that you would recommend as far as how many things you should share versus how many things you should like of other people's? How much should you engage on other people's pages in comparison to how much you should be talking about what you've done? Is it 1-to-1, 5-to-1, or is it different for everybody?
Generally, it's 80-20. So 80% of the time, you should be trying to engage someone. Liking their page, posting, on their wall, or commenting on something that they posted. And you want to do that because it shows engagement, and shows that you're listening to what they're having to say, and people want to be heard. And your clients especially.
Right. That's pretty much where I thought it would be, because it's you got to show the love. You got to show them that you're interested in what they're doing, for them to even have a semblance of interest in what you're doing.
Exactly. And by monitoring what they're saying and actually paying attention to what they're saying, you'll find that a lot of people are thinking about redesigning their home, or they're thinking about different ideas, and you can jump in there and become their designer. a lot of people don't realize that, hey, I'm thinking about buying a new sofa, and they'll post that online. I'm thinking about buying a new sofa. What do you think? And if you put that input in there, you could say, oh, well, I'm not interested in that. Or they say they post a lamp, and you say, hey, that looks great, but this new Schoenbeck design is even better. It'll look phenomenal in there. So you recommend that Schoenbeck light for them, and you say, well, hey, there's also the matching chandelier and matching wall lamp, etc. And you can present the whole package to them.
Great. I don't know if you could see on your screen, Johnny, but I actually have been sharing my screen just so they could see a little bit of what we were talking about. And I did make a comment, and I did like, and all these things here, unlike, comment, share, they're all so simple to use. And the great thing about doing these kinds of things, if you make a mistake, you can delete it. That's it'll only be up there for a couple of seconds, and then you could take it down. Isn't that right, Johnny?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you do control the content, and so don't be afraid to try these things and share them on your wall. And if you like this, if you like the Schoenbeck interior, go to become a like Capital Lighting Pro and just practice with our stuff. Share this Schoenbeck image on your page. See if anybody comments on it. It's a great way to experiment. I'm sorry. Go on. Continue.
No, that's exactly it. And with all this, don't be afraid, because you never really can make a mistake. Because you'd be surprised what content you put out there that people are going to respond to.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely post stuff on there, and like Eric said, I recommend going to the Capital Pro Lighting page or Capital Lighting Pro page on Facebook and see what we're doing. We actually started the page 2 weeks ago, and we already have 354 fans. That's just from engaging people, engaging designers, and engaging other fan pages, and showing and sharing interior design that we think is really good.
And I guess I could show. Go ahead, John.
No, go ahead.
I'm just showing that you just post how to share something. You just hit that share and you hit share, and that's it, and it's done. Success. It was posted. It's all very simple. It's all very intuitive, and just to continue, don't show fear. Just jump in and try it. Not too much wrong can happen if you're using the 3 R's and just using common sense on what you're sharing and what you're posting.
Exactly.
Great.
Are there any more questions?
Yeah, are we sort of at the end of the presentation period, and possibly this question is more for Steve? But are we going to show any more interactive stuff, or is that we don't want to get too granular? This is right at the beginning. We've showed a little bit of this, but if are you doing any more demos, Johnny, or can I ask a question posed to Steve?
No, you can absolutely ask the question to me.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you, Johnny. That was great. This question is, will we be discussing a pro, they say we're on a Capital Lighting Pro page. Will we be discussing setting up a pro page for designers? Because they're confused, because we said to have one page for personal and business, but this is a business page. And if you could talk a little bit about the differences between a personal page and a business page, because they aren't the same thing as having a Facebook for you, if I'm making any sense, Steve. Why would you set up a business page as opposed to a personal page?
Actually, I'm jumping in on that question.
Okay, great.
But the personal page is really all about yourself. And for those designers, who are, themselves as a company, they're the head of their company, they're the face of their company, it makes sense to have a personal page so you have one place for all that content. And it gives you one face to engage with your brand. So if you look at other people's Facebook pages, they talk about their business on there, and that's perfectly acceptable, especially if you run your own business and you're an entrepreneur. for brands and designers that have a whole staff of people, let's say you have 10 different people in your design firm, then it would make sense to have one place for business, and that's why you'd have a fan page for your business. And then still on your personal page, you want everyone using their contacts and talking about your design company. So it all depends on how large of a design firm you have.
Got it. So if you have multiple people, generally you're going to want a business page where you could have one depository for all the content. But if you're a sole proprietor and you are the business, it's probably not necessary to have a pro page, have a business page.
Correct. And if you are the designer and you're a sole proprietor, I would only have the personal page because you want all that content there.
Great. Okay. Good question. Thank you very much. Steve, are there any other things that you wanted to bring up? I have a couple of closing remarks, but to talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing next month in the series, or some other thoughts regarding the Facebook experience.
That'd be great. Actually, one of the things I want to make sure is that, as we produce these segments, which next month we're going to be specifically talking about LinkedIn, any feedback that you can give us from today's experience would be welcomed. We've done this across many different platforms. We've done them live. We've done them in webinar. We've done them one-to-one. So, clearly we learn something from every time we do it. And the interesting thing about social media is that it is ever-changing. And so there are certain best practices, as we've tried to talk about today, but there are new ways to play the game and new ways to skin it. So we are, constantly evolving and learning ourselves. And, the purpose for this this tool, which, we've spent time and energy putting it together, is to try and help you grow your business. So any specific content, information, feedback that you can share that will help you as we do this again next month, we're all open ears. So I've enjoyed it. Every time I get a chance to, look at the information and to present it, I realize truly what a powerful tool it is that we're working with. And, once you embrace it and start seeing the results, share it with your friends. So thank you, Eric.
Actually, before we go away, Steve, before the final, there are a couple late questions that I did just see up here. And when Mila asks, when you, actually it's Bill asked, when you comment, does your business name show up? And the answer to that is yes. When you comment, it does show who made the comment. So you can only comment on a page generally if you're friends with that page. So they're trusting you to make a comment on there. So and it will show your profile picture and who you are. Another person, right? I think that's correct. Another person asked, can you explain how to create the gallery and post it? And maybe that was done when the screen was down. So hopefully we've showed that. But to post a photo or a gallery, you click on photo/video here. If you're uploading one picture, you use this, or one video, upload photo or video. If you want to create several images in the same family, like if you did a whole room and you want to, or a whole house and you want to show the Joneses home, you click on Create Photo Album, and that's just going to go to a normal Windows kind of thing or Mac thing where you select the images that you want to post, and then you just hit Open and Post. So just right here along that dock are how it's done. Patricia asks a question: how do you get started? And that's that is a good question, and you're welcome, Mila. If you wanted to get started in Facebook, I think we did hit a lot of those things, and it's really just signing in and getting your feet wet and experimenting. And any other comments along that, Steve?
I'm sorry, I couldn't actually hear what you said, so my apologies.
And you know what? I'll answer Patricia's comment
Okay.
after the webinar. So today it was a lot of introduction to utilizing Facebook, utilizing it for your business. This was our first webinar. We are going to get more granular and more in-depth as the series goes on, and utilizing all the tools as far as LinkedIn and I think we also have a follow-up on this Facebook, which will probably be like Facebook 2.0.
Correct, and we can continue to revisit this as the audience dictates. So you know, if they want more and they want more information, there's other content that we can supply to them outside of the webinar. And certainly, Eric, if they're going to communicate with you on something that they want or need, we can supply that to you, and get it to them after the webinar.
Absolutely. And as Steve said, we welcome your feedback. Our stated mission here at Capital Lighting is to be part of a team that helps make the world a brighter place, and we do strive every day to add value to all our clients, and especially our pro community, and deliver relevant content. We have some beautiful showrooms and a top-notch website that is second to none, and please share with us any feedback, things that you'd be looking for us to help make your businesses stronger. We'd love to hear from you where we exceeded your expectations or perhaps where we may have fell short. We are never stopping our learning process or trying to improve our business, and we appreciate all your input and interaction to help us both grow together. So thank you, Steve and Johnny, and to everybody who joined us today. We will be sending a follow-up email to everyone who was registered to the webinar with a link to view the entire webinar if there was a piece you wanted to go over again, along with some other interesting content for you. And if you haven't done so yet, please like the Facebook Pro page, or our Capital Lighting Facebook Pro page, so that you'll be up to date on everything that we're doing and get knowledge of our next webinar and all the other things that we're doing, also be able to interact with us. Any other closing thoughts, Steve?
That's it. Again, excited. Thank you for the opportunity. Look forward to next month.
Appreciate it. Everybody have a great rest of your day and your week, and we will talk again. Take care.
Go USA. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.